could go back to the day before we met. Speed my regret. I wish I was in love with you, so you couldn't hurt me. It's just the way you treat me. You don't deserve me. Wasted my time thinking about you. You ain't never gonna change. You ain't never gonna change. I was in love with you. I wish I wasn't in love with you so I wouldn't feel this way. Oh, Lord. Heather Hadley. Ooh, I wish I wasn't. You know how much hurt you have to inflict on somebody for them to say, I wish I wasn't in love with you because of the way you treat me. Whew, that is some tough love. Anyway, good morning. Keith K.L. Belvin here, crisis specialist, author, educator, and I am happy to be on once again. Thank the Lord for waking up this morning to be on with you once again. I'm on every Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 10 o'clock, God willing. And here is where we try to have a morning conversation about the things that connect to you as a person, as a couple, as whatever. And I try to have some entertaining, some educational, and some informational subjects to bring to the table in the arena or the lane that I am in, because I don't want to talk about things that I don't know about. So I try to keep that connected to the things that I do know about. So again, good morning. So before I get started, let me do this. It is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I saw that movie in the movies too. 70, whatever. Anyway, I'm old. Thank God it's Friday. Donna Summer was in that. Anyway, listen, I want you to like this post. We're going to talk about, should the church support your mental health? Because you guys know that I am working on building mental health ministries. But that is going to be my conversation, or brief conversation today. So I want you to like this post. I want you to share, and I want you to tag 3 people who you know go to church regularly. Yes, 3 people who you know are in church weekly. Very important, all right? Because I want regular church goers, because I want them to be able to have this conversation with me. So, also, I want to give a big shout out to Ethel and Annie Mae's Soul Food Kitchen. Let me bring this up. Oh, I just lost it. Hold on a second. There we go. Let me bring this up. There it is. And let me make this the main thing there. All right. Ethel and Annie Mae's Soul Food Kitchen. Shout out to Chef Danielle. On Facebook, it is Danielle Chef Moore. On Instagram, it is BK Chef Danielle. Ethel and Annie Mae's Soul Food on Instagram. Ethel and Annie Mae's Soul Food on Facebook. 497 Albany Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, Crown Heights section of Brooklyn. And I am super excited for this lovely young lady for what she's doing. She is making it happen. Let me tell you something. I get excited for anybody who is out there making their dreams happen, because when you get to do the things that you enjoy doing and can get paid for it, that is a wonderful combination. Also, I root for anybody of color who has been able to break the stereotype of us just being lazy and whatever, and we spending our time doing crate challenges, and actually, instead of trying to build. This young lady is not only about her people, she is building. And I love and respect that. So shout out to Chef Danielle. Make sure you go by and support her. And when you do, ask her about the bench. Ask her about the elders who have come by and blessed her with her bench. And while the weather is nice, get by there where you can sit outside and eat your food. And they'll call you and you sit down, and it's nice. It's a nice, cozy place, small place, but it's nice and it's comfortable, and she keeps it clean and well run, and the food, that is the most important part, is working. Okay, because she just check the video I put on my Facebook page from her Instagram. You can see for yourself. Food is supposed to be pleasing to the eye first, the senses second, and then the taste. I mean, the smell second, and then the taste. You're supposed to see it, love it, smell it, love it, and then taste it, love it. All 3. She checks all 3 boxes. So make sure you check out Chef Danielle. All right. Let me bring this back here. Okay. So, I almost deleted myself. Did I just do that? Yes, I did. There we go. All right. So with that said, again, thank you for being here. And I want to give you a little background about me. Okay. You guys know that I'm a crisis specialist, educator, author. I say all those things. But I actually went to school, and I want to give you a little background about one of my master's degrees. My master's degree is in human service counseling, specializing in Christian ministry. Yes. So I have a degree, a master's degree, in how to service people in the counseling arena, specializing in Christian ministry. Now, I chose that for a reason because I wanted to, before I even got here, wanted to see the church do more in terms of mental health. Now, when I say that, this is what I mean. The church feeds and clothes people, has been for years. There's been coat drives, toy drives. There has been food drives. They give away food. They cook. They give away meals. The church has been fantastic at that. Okay, fantastic in taking care of the physical body of the individuals who are connected to the church, as well as individuals in the neighborhood or areas of the church. And I'm talking about the good churches. I'm not talking about the ones, the shiesty churches where your money goes in and you never see it come back. Those same churches will do a ton of outreach where they go out and try to help the shut in, try to help people that are out on the streets, homeless, prostitutes, people who are coming back from jail, people who are in jail. The church has been tremendous in that area. So don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the church. Church has its issues, but so does everything. The church has been tremendous in that area. Now, in the spiritual arena, come on, the church can't be beat because that's the whole premise of the church is to feed you spiritually. So they have that part. But here's what I've learned in my 13 plus years as a health educator, right? Optimal health is being 100%, which nobody is, but this is the goal, in your spiritual or social. That's the way you'll see it written in some books, physical, and then the emotional or the mental, depending on which book that you read. That's the triangle, right? The triangle would be spiritual, physical, social, or spiritual, depending. Okay. And basically, your spiritual is your social because you connect people with social level. So the church does a tremendous work in two of the three areas. But if we know that optimal health is all three, and we as the body of Christ, and those of you that are not Christians may not understand what that means, but as believers of the Christian faith, we believe that we're all connected to a body with each other because God has placed us here. And again, I'm not going to try to walk you through the whole Christian faith thing. If you're not a believer, that's okay. I work with non-believers too. But in the body of Christ, we do a fantastic job with attempting to help other people. Here's where the church drops the ball. And not all churches, so don't get me wrong, I'm not blanketing all churches. It is the mental health part. Sadly, the church does not assist many in this area, and many don't feel comfortable sharing what's going on with them emotionally to the members of their church. That is a problem for me. Because if you're going to be somewhere weekly and you're going to be somewhere during the week and you're going to be actively involved in your church, and for the church, especially in the African American community, Caribbean community, African community, and as well as in white communities and Asian communities, the church plays a major role. So for the churches to not have a mental health aspect to it is dangerous, because then where are we sending our people to get help with emotional things when yet we pray to a God that we say and believe is omnipresent and all powerful? Well, if our God is all powerful and omnipresent, then we want to be able to present everything to him. Okay, so let me look at this right here. I want to show you this right here, right? And I found this just doing some research, and I wanted to show you this before I came on today, right? Okay. This is people who disagree that if they had mental issues, they believe that their church would welcome them, right? 55% who never attended worship service says they disagree. 55% who would never attend worship service. Let me read this right. If I had mental health issues, I believe most churches would welcome me. 55% of the people on the outside of the church think, yes, the church would do that. That's outside the church. But look at the percentage of the people who's actually in church. Now, this is very telling, very telling, very telling. Please pay attention to this. 21% who attend worship service once a week. All right. And this was done by Lifeway Research. And I don't know how correct it is, but I do know that number, it is a very low number because I talk to people on a regular. I provide Christian counseling. So you're going to tell me that 55% of the people outside the church think that the church provides services for mental health issues, but only 21% of the people in the church actually believe that. And see, that's a problem because I'm going to tell you something, that number is very low. Very, very low. Because I am right now working with 3 churches, right? 3 churches, yeah. And the major church I work with is right here in Southern Delaware. And I have 5 or 6 members who I see. And all of them say, I would not have felt comfortable, or I don't feel comfortable sharing what I'm sharing with you, Keith, to my church. Now, they have shared it with 1 or 2 individuals in the church, but they don't want to get the help through the church that way. That's where I come in as an outside entity. Because what I provide for churches and what I try to set up with churches, good morning, Kim, how we doing, love? What I try to set up with churches is having an outside agent come in so you can then refer that person to me. I am specialized in dealing with counseling in a Christian setting where I can help the individual and then implant them back so they feel comfortable and go ahead and doing their thing with their church. Now, let me give you a breakdown of what that looks like because it's very important. And to all my churchgoers, please pass this message on to your church leadership. I don't care how hardened they are, no, we're not doing that. You tell them to come talk to me because I'll explain it to them. Because here's the thing, right? The church, this is the way I look at it. I am one of the 5-fold ministry. In Ephesians, it talks about 5-fold ministries. And I am a real teacher, all right? So you have the pastor, the prophet, the disciple, the evangelist, the teacher. I am a real teacher, so I understand the word. I'm able to teach it. My counseling is teaching. So here's the way this works. The pastor, the person, and the leadership of the church, they're like the general practitioners, your doctor, right? Your regular doctor. When you go to your regular doctor, right, and you have something that's wrong, that is not the area of expertise of your doctor doesn't try to figure it out on you. Your doctor doesn't go, seems like there's something wrong with your heart. Let's try to figure out what it is. No, your doctor says, this is something that I don't deal with. I'm going to give you a referral. You're going to go to Mr. Keith. Mr. Keith is going to work on your heart. And when everything is better, you're going to come back to me. When you come to me as the specialist, I deal with that particular problem, help you to get it right, and then refer you back to your general practitioner. So how does that work when we talk about mental health services for the church? Okay, I got you. I'll walk you through it. The pastor and the leadership of the church provides a way for people to come when they say they have problems. When they're dealing with the problems, or if they then see that the person is maybe uncomfortable speaking to them, they say, would you be comfortable in speaking to somebody that we deal with who's a specialist outside the church? I'm going to tell you why they say yes. Because they know I'm not directly connected to their church. They feel more comfortable of letting their dirty laundry be aired. And here's the wonderful thing. Most, if not all, churches have outreach ministry money. So when I connect with a church, the church helps pay a portion of my fee if the person can't afford it. That is what your tithes go for. That is the outreach ministry money that churches put to the side. And what it allows a pastor to do is help his flock get better. So to answer the question, should the church support the mental health of its individuals? Yes, it should. Because if only 21% of the people feel that they're not getting help, that means the bulk of the people are sitting there hurting. Exactly. So they don't have to worry about gossipers. Exactly right, Kim. That is exactly what I do. Good morning, Flex. That is exactly what I present, because I don't care what state, what country you in. Church folks gossip, work folks gossip, basketball teams gossip, bowling teams gossip. Anytime you bowling leagues gossip. Anytime you go somewhere on a weekly basis, daily basis around groups of people, gossip is going to be there. Gossip is actually written into the Bible because they were gossiping back then. So when a person is suffering through a mental health situation, the first thing that they want to do is get relief. Well, they can't get relief if they go to a church and they believe that if I tell Deacon so-and-so that I got issues sexually, that next week people's like, oh, that's the nasty dude. What the? That's the nasty chick. What the? So you know what happens? Other people see that, they say nothing. Disrespectful, tell all your business. Very true. Very true. They will tell all your business. And part of that is because the pastor, male or female, they're not designed, that's not their lane. Often they're not educated in that area. Yes, they know the word very well, don't get me wrong, but it's not their lane. I just told you, I went to school to do this. Liberty University, far right university too. They was trying to recruit a brother to be a Trump supporter. Not happening. But the education was sound. But when I say I went to school, and this is where my master's degree is important, it don't make me better than anybody, but what it shows is that I put the time in to learn my craft so I know what I'm talking about. So I want to work with churches, not opposite churches. I work with churches. So when a pastor goes, this is above me, but Brother Keith can help you. Now what we do is we figure out what the person can afford. I know what I charge, and I discount that for the churches because I don't want to lay all the burden on the church. So I take a little bit less. The church pays a portion. The person now can pay what they can afford. Here's the beautiful thing. As the person gets better, they grow closer to their church. So that allows them to grow closer to God because God is the covering to the whole thing. Also, they don't miss church. If your church is paying for your mental health services, you're not going to miss church. Also, you're going to bring other people to the church because you're going to say, I'm getting help. Your education is exactly, Flex. That's exactly what it is. And that's why I went to school, bro. That is a great point. Flex says your education helps you to recognize certain mental illness. Yes. And if it's above me, Flex, I refer that person to someone above me, which might be a psychologist, or now they may need in-depth therapy. Because I'm not the end all, the be all, to everything when it comes to counseling. And I counsel. I'm not a therapist. Well, I am a therapist, but that's therapeutic services I can provide, but I would rather refer to a particular person that deals with that. So if it's above me, I refer to somebody. Because at this point, especially if you need psychological help or medication, because I don't write prescriptions. Now I'm thinking about going back to school to get my doctorate, but I'm not sure yet. But that's the honest part. And as Christians, we're supposed to be honest with each other. So what kills me, and I call it the Miss Seeley factor, when somebody is sitting in church and they're clapping and they're going through the motions, but they're really hurting inside, then we are not servicing them. We're not taking care of them. And the church is supposed to take care of its flock. The pastor is supposed to take care of his parishioners. If I am giving you tithes, the tithes are supposed to be for those in need so the church can take care of those. We tithe into the church so the church can then take care of those in need. And the money is there. So for me, my original question is, should the church support your mental health? Yes. Because if my mental health increases, so does my physical and my spiritual. And now I'm able to do more for the Lord and learn more about the Lord and serve the Lord better. You cannot serve God if your brain is cloudy, if you're emotional wreck. And that's another reason why I went to school to get my education in this area, is because do you know who put up the biggest fight? Not the parishioners, the leadership. I fight with leadership more than anything else. The church members get it. I have heard many people say, I wish my church would do something like this. And I say, well, if you would like, give me your pastor's information. I'll reach out. And the person says, well, I'll talk to my pastor first. I just don't want to pass out his information. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll talk to the person again. My pastor didn't want to have the conversation. And when I do the market research and say, hey, does your church have mental health ministries? Nah, we don't have nothing like that. And then the pastor still doesn't want to have that conversation. But trust me, it happens often. And the sad part is, now this part may be a little controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Now, many of us as people of color know that counseling and therapy in the mental health lane is not a wide open lane in African and Caribbean communities. My strongest resistance to this that I'm talking about is people who look like me. Sadly, my strongest resistance comes from members, leaders of churches, of people who look like me. They literally just discount what I'm saying or just ignore me. And when I've reached out to try to have conversations, even just to say, can we get on a call? Sometimes they don't. And I pray for them and keep it moving because I'm not going to force anybody. And I'm not going to speak badly about anybody's church. I don't down anybody because there's no reason. There's more than enough people out here to help. And I'm going to help whoever, white, black, Asian, brown. I don't care. If you need help, I'm here. When you hear me say, bring me your pain, I don't say black people bring me your pain, white people bring me your pain, Chinese people, Asian people bring me your pain, Latinx people bring me your pain. No, I say bring me your pain. We can fix this. And I don't put no moniker on we. We meaning whoever's going to sit across me and say, Keith, help me. I got you. I got white clients, black clients, Latino clients. I got it all. Because the way I see it, a person in need is a person in need. Kim says it's not a joke. Mental health is important. Yes, Kim. And we've talked about this, Kim. So true. And my thing is, when I come across those churches that do have mental health, yes, I get excited. And let me tell you what the first thing out my mouth is. Is there any way that I can help? Is there any way that I can offer assistance? Because if you have it in place, maybe I can help you get stronger. I don't walk away just because they say, yes, we have. I look to work because I volunteer a lot of time also because I don't have a problem with that because I honestly believe people need help. Right here during COVID right now, people are hurting. And when churches were closed, people were hurting badly. Now, some churches have opened back up, mask included. But yet, do you know how many pastors have died because they refused to even consider that this thing was real? And that affects the mental health of the people around them. When your pastor dies, when he just said, this thing is of the devil, and all of a sudden now they're dead. What do you think that makes the parishioners feel? And my job is to try to balance that out for you. There are people right now, and I know they don't feel comfortable telling the pastor, yo, when I come into church, I'm staring at all the booties in here and I'm thinking sexual thoughts. They scared to talk about that. There's a lot of people come in here and be like, yo, I'm trying to catch that D print in them pants when they come by pastor, but they can't tell the pastor that, the first lady that. There are people who are suffering from infidelity issues, abuse issues, from currently being abused, from previously being abused. They don't want to share that because the person that may abuse them may be in the church. And then we have to be honest. We have to talk about the abuse that goes on in the church, and it's called church hurt. I did a video on that. It's on Facebook actually. That it's called church hurt. It's actually a term. So to actually have a term and books written on church hurt. So to actually have books and websites and blogs on something that should not be, to know that the church is hurting people on a level that it actually is creating content, is even more reason why we need mental health ministries and why the church should support your mental health. And should the church pay? Yes. They should pay some of it. And in the cases of people who have nothing, pay it all. Yeah, I said it. I don't have no problem back. I don't back away from that. We spend enough money on things that are okay, but we seem to don't want to spend it in the mental health area. No, if we can spend it on clothes, trips, and gifts and drinks and everything else, and crates, but we ain't spending for the crates. They're just taking them from the corner store. We can spend it on mental health. I'm going to check that out. I experienced church hurt. Yeah, Kim, I'll go to my actually, if you go to my YouTube page, Keith KL Belvin or KL the writer, just scroll down. I'm not sure on the date, but it says dealing with church hurt. I actually did a video on that. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a message. If I get the time today, I'll try to take a look and get the link, and I'll post it to you. But if not, if you beat me to it, let me know how you feel about that. I would love to hear your thoughts because, again, I love the feedback because that is something that I said to everyone. I am no longer muting myself. I muted myself for too long, meaning that I just sat quietly, laid in the cut and was like, I'm not going to say nothing. No, this is my business here. I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. Why? Because I know my lane. And my lane is to help those who are suffering from mental issues and need to talk to somebody. And I do it right here. I just went and bought a whole new computer because I needed to upgrade to make sure that I am in the best position possible, because here's the beautiful thing with working with you. You get to just sit in your home. I don't want you to be any more uncomfortable than you are. All you got to do is find a quiet space, put on your phone, your camera, whatever's going to allow you to see me. And we're going to talk just like this, because during this COVID time, I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to be okay with being able to share with me what's going on with you. I don't need to be in the same room with you. And let me tell you why that works, because I have heard things and people have shared with me, and I seem to be the person that gets a lot of people who are suffering from some sexual deviant behavior. But I realize why that is because my past has allowed me to be comfortable with having those conversations. So if you've never read From Gigolo to Jesus, and I am actually I'm writing the second edition From Gigolo to Jesus, because I'm going to include things that I know need to be in there about my mother, my grandmother, and KL. And I'm also touching on some of the things that I wrote before, because now as a counselor, there's things that I can add to my book that I didn't add 10 years ago. But this time with From Gigolo to Jesus, there will be a private group for you to come and have regular conversations with me. There will be a course for you to sit down and be able to ask yourself questions on spiritual and personal change. This time, there will be a cohort of 6 to 8 weeks where you get to come and work with me for 6 to 8 weeks to be able to make those changes that you need to make to address the areas of your life that is keeping you from being the best you possible. See, this time I come to the table with different receipts. And it's not just for money. This time I'm putting my business where my mouth was. Before it was just my mouth talking. I didn't have the things in place. And I believe I hurt people by not having those things in place. And I regret that. And I apologize. And I prayed about that. This time is different. And I'm starting now. So if you need somebody now, let's get on a call right now. If you need to talk to somebody right now, reach out to me and say, Keith, I need to talk. Don't worry about what I charge until you speak to me. Often people well, I can't afford you. You don't know what help I have, because there are people out there that will support you for a couple of months. Give you an example. Let's say I charge $150 a session, right? But you can only pay $100. I can find somebody that can probably pay the $50 for you for at least 3 months, which would turn out to be about 6 sessions, unless you want to see me every week, because I see people every 2 weeks, pretty much. So over that 3-month period of somebody paying for you, you have a chance to stack up your paper. So at the end of the 3 months, you would accrue that additional amount to go to, or I'll figure out what I can do. Maybe I can find another supporter that'll keep that going. I do that. I got about three clients. I'm sorry, three. One we just ended service. I have 3 clients right now that somebody else is picking up the bill for them. Here's the beautiful thing. I got 6 clients that their church pays the bulk of the service for them. So don't think that it doesn't happen. It does. I have at least 6 with one church, 2 with another church, and 1 year. So I got about 9 people that the church is paying for their mental health services. It can happen when churches sit down and realize that they need to help their people. It's what I do. So again, I hope that this has been beneficial. Kim, Flex, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm trying to stick to half an hour, and I just reached that point. But I want to say this to anybody watching. If you're watching on replay, please put hashtag replay. Let me know that you're watching on replay. Please like this. Please share this. Let me tell you why. By liking it, you let me know that you enjoyed the content. By sharing it, someone on your page gets to know who I am, and I can't reach them but except through you. And I appreciate that love. I appreciate you allowing me to your friends list. And 3, by tagging at least 3 people. We're going to go with 3 people today who go to church. By tagging 3 people, you're saying to them, you need to come check this dude out. All right. Now, if you go to church, let me end it with this. If you are a member of your church or you are a church leader, let's get on a call. Let me explain to you my program. It's called BCAP, Braven Church Assistance Program. I have a program in place. I have a whole thing in place to be able to share with you. Hey, Latasha. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. And Latasha, I was going to send you an email because I didn't hear back from you. So I want to talk. Make sure you're okay as well. We got to talk. I want to catch up, make sure you're good. Okay? And that's what I do. Because the goal is I can try to find people who will support you. I mean, and if your church doesn't have that, tell your leadership. Reach out to me or ask your leadership. Can I give your information to a gentleman that sets up mental health ministries so he can call you? I would love to get on a call with your pastor. I would love to get on a call with your church leadership. Because if they can help you get the service that you need, that's a win-win. Tell you why. You get the help that you need, and the church gets to take care of its people. That is a win-win. I just get to happen to be the person that holds that together. And I'll do my part. I'll make sure that I'm there for you. But we can't do it if all sides are not in agreement. And money should not be the thing that stops you from getting help. Not when you are giving tithes to your church. And I know that churches have outreach ministry money. And I know that people do not want to give their dirt to the church. I know this. I know it. All right, let's do a quick poll. And if you're watching on replay, put a 1 in the chat room if you're okay with telling your dirt to your church, or put a 2 if you're like, nope, I'm not telling them nothing about me. Put a 1 if you're okay. If your church is one of those churches where you feel you could go in and be like, Pastor, I'm freaky. I need help. Or if you know you ain't saying nothing, put a 1 in the chat room if your church is one of those that you know it'll be okay. 2 if you know like, nope, nah, Brother Keith, not my church. Oh, we got a 2 from Kim. I feel you, Kim. Put a 2 if you're like, nope, I'm not telling my church. And I'm going to tell you why. That 1, 2 right there that Kim just put up is why I do what I do. If I know one person is sitting there hurting and needs somebody like me, and the only thing, 2, if I had a church, I got you, Tasha. I got you. Well, you do have a church. Listen, there's still the church of God. There's still all of us here. We're all a part of the body of Christ. So, Tasha, you always have somebody that you can speak to. And then, of course, you're a member of Unapologetically Keith. You can always come in and ask for any type of help. There's a lot of people that you can reach out to just to talk. That's the reason why. I have a Bible study group as well, Tasha. If you ever want to join just to read some scriptures, that's for you as well, Kim. I have a Bible study group that I post some scriptures up every couple of days. Pretty much, I try to stay every couple of days. And if you need prayer, we offer that there too. And if you ever had a problem, you can just post it there. Tons of people in the group that would gladly help you, pray with you. We have some pastors in the group. And so I simply want to say that you do not have to hurt in silence. You do not have to hurt at all. Reach out. All right. If you don't have a church, reach out to me. I'll find somebody that's going to try to front some of the money for you. You do not have to sit here and struggle if you are in pain. I'm here for that. And I know sometimes when people see how much I charge, they go, I can't. Yeah, I know that you think you can. But here's what I found just to be true. We find money for the things that we want and need. So the question becomes, if this is something you need, let's work on it. Let's figure it out. I work with people in all different ways. Now, do I have to charge? Yes. I can't do everything for free. I try. And I get in trouble sometimes because I get lectures from people like, Keith, you got to stop. You got a family. And it's true. I have to be mindful that if I take the time away from my family, I got to at least be able to bring something back home, because then it's not fair to my wife and little girl. But I'm here for you. All right. And your church should be here for you. And if you don't have a church, Latasha, I am sure if you want to find one, we can help you do that too in whatever area that you're in. And I believe it's, should I get it right? I always say this wrong. Is it Missouri? No, it's not Missouri. It's, oh my gosh. Is it Cincinnati? No, it's Missouri, right? All right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. Sometimes I got so much on my mind, and I'm getting older too. But again, guys, I appreciate you. Listen, let me get ready to get off of here. All right. So before I go, all right, let's get this going. Oh, hold on a second. All right, here we go. Heather Hadley's going to take us out from here. Here we go. Woo! Have a good Friday, guys. Keith K.L. Belvin here, crisis specialist, author, educator. Want you to have a wonderful Friday. St. Louis, there's St. Louis, Missouri. See, I knew it was Missouri. There we go. See, I ain't forget. Come on, Heather. Why do you want to hurt me so bad? I believed in you. That's why I'm so mad. Now I'm drowning in disappointment. Me to even look at you. I wish. Come on, darling. Go back. Now check this line right here. To the day before we met and see my regret. Woo! Have a happy Friday, guys. God bless. Have a good one. Let's get on a call. Reach out. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Don't hesitate. The way you treat me. Ladies, trust me. I do understand, but I cannot help if you don't reach out to me. If you go to my profile, you're going to see a link that you can click that'll take you to a discovery call. Don't hesitate. I'm here. Come on, Heather. I see. Have a happy weekend, guys. God bless. Leave me,